There's a lot of talk going on currently with Dubai real estate market and if we are in a potential bubble. Today we're going to have a look at what investors are purchasing, what type of units, the areas they're looking at, and what we've seen in terms of the appreciation and the prices versus last year. To begin, let's have a look what we've seen in the last 30 days. So we have seen 18,320 transactions in the market. That is for both ready and off plan. The most transacted area in that time is JVC with just under 10% of the transactions in the market. This is due to the sheer volume of off plan and ready available properties in the market there. For the transactions, we've seen 72% of these be off plan and 28% ready. When looking at how this compares to last year, we had slightly less transactions with 18,157, and the split between off plan and ready was 67% off plan and 33% ready. This is a small amount of data to go from, so let's have a look at it on a year-by-year basis. In total, from 2024, we've seen 170,786 transactions, and 2025, we've seen 193,595. This is between the September 26, 2023 to 2024 and September 26, 2024 to 2025. Showing just under 64% here in terms of off-plan transactions. It's of course a very high figure, and this shows us that there is a lot of confidence in the market going forward. Investors are looking into the future of Dubai, looking at the track record and what's already been delivered and produced. Such a high percentage and increase of off-plan investors shows us that there is a lot of confidence in the market for the future. Off-plan is attractive because it comes with payment plans, it's got a proven track record for capital appreciation across many projects. Lastly, it's easy to enter the market here as an overseas investor, as you can do it via bank transfer and several other ways to secure your unit, whereas buying a ready property is a lot more challenging. This is great if the growth persists and the population continues to grow as we have seen, as this will fill up the units and cause the demand. However, if the market turns and the sentiment changes, this is where you may have a little bit of an issue. Another point to note would be if deliveries began to stack up in certain areas, causing less of a demand for the prices. This is definitely something to note when looking to invest in a location. What stock is coming to the market there, and will there still be a high demand? Conversations that are commonly had when investing here in Dubai at the moment is if you are better going for a townhouse or villa or an apartment. So as you can see here, in the last 30 days, there has been a lot of apartment purchases at 88% and just 12% for the townhouses and villas. That is from the sort of last 30 days here in September 2025. When you compare this to the same time last year, then we've seen that it was around 82% of apartments and 18% of townhouses and villas. When looking at data month on month, it's important to note that it very much depends on what projects may have been launched that month. So let's have a look year on year what we've seen townhouses and villas versus apartments. When looking at the figures from the year prior, they were very similar, with the apartments just over 80% and the townhouses and villas at pretty much 20%. So not much has changed in this area. Now looking at areas where people are investing, what we've seen the most in terms of transactions, what areas are on the up and what areas are on the down. Well, firstly, we can tell you that JVC is the most transacted area at 9.9% of the transactions ongoing. This is due to, as we mentioned, the sheer volume of off-plan, but also ready units that are available in the market. It's been the #1 transacted area for some time now. Second, we do have Business Bay. Similar to JVC, has a lot of stock, a lot of available units, along with launches still coming to the location. So this took up 7.3% of the transactions in the market. Then lastly, we had Dubai Science Park. This is an upcoming area just off the back of Dubai Hills that had 5.9% of the transactions in the market in the last 30 days. We did see some projects by Binghatti launch here, so there was a lot of apartments up for sale over the last 30 days. Areas up on price. So the biggest winner from the last 30 days was Al Jadaf. For almost a 5% increase for the apartments, Al Jadaf has appreciated the most in the last 30 days. Al Jadaf is an upcoming community with a lot still to be developed here, including a metro line that is meant to run through it. So a lot of investors potentially looking to the future there, with it being close to downtown and just off the back of the creek. It's something that's definitely attractive to longer term investors, but right now it's also an ideal location to live. Secondly was Dubai Production City. So this is very close to your Golf Estates, in which Jumeirah Golf Estates have just launched another phase with Jumeirah Golf Estates 2. The master plan for Jumeirah Golf Estates 2 brings another golf course which will bring more housing, potentially more amenities to the location, which will increase the price of Production City. In this circumstance, from the back of this launch, we have seen a 3.58% increase on property here. In my opinion, this is likely where the rise would have came from. Lastly is Dubai Hills, and focusing on the villas in particular, so that's where the data is for, the villas. This has seen a lot of increase over the last 12 months, and in particular over the last 30 days, then we are looking at a 3.55% increase. Dubai Hills for me is one of the best villa communities across Dubai, and it's in a central location for the current time and also for the future when we have the Al Maktoum Airport and potentially Palm Jebel Ali fully developed. So an end user looking for a home or an investor looking to put down a large amount of capital, this is an excellent spot. You have luxury villas in one of the best communities in Dubai. So that's the top 3 winners for the last 30 days. Now let's look at what properties have decreased in price. First up, we'll have a look at Blue Water Islands, which is an area that's appreciated so much in the last few years. However, in the last 30 days, we've seen a decrease in price of 2.9%. This is nothing major if you are a long-term holder here, but it is just due to potentially the availability of similar communities upcoming. What we mean by this is you have Maritime City and Dubai Islands, which are both beachfront and sort of seafront communities that will be coming for the future, which then gives more availability to investors or end users looking for this type of product. Next up, the second most decreased area in the last 30 days is Madinat Jumeirah Living. This is an apartment community and the price here has decreased 3.91%. They have had phased launches over time where the price has increased. However, it's began to steady out a little bit, and with more and more units coming to the market here over the last 30 days, we've seen a launch. It's potentially just stagnated a little bit over the last 30 days. Last on the list is Zabil, which is the most decreased area in the last 30 days, and similar to the other 2 areas, this is likely due to the launches that we've seen here. So with this one, we've seen options appear off plan for Sheikh Zayed Road. There's been a couple of options available off plan in DIFC, which of course more availability of the stock in these areas means that the price may not hold as well as there's more units available in the area. Despite some decreases here in certain locations, it's important to note that out of the 89 locations that we have available for data, that 78% of them were actually increasing. So a smaller margin of locations in Dubai are actually decreasing, whereas the vast majority have seen an increase. Now, comparing the price per square foot that we're currently sitting at, we're looking at 1,930 dirhams per square foot. Then looking at the same time last year, 2024, the average price per square foot was sitting at 1,699 dirhams per square foot. So what this means is we've seen a 13.6% increase year on year from this time frame. To round things up and to take some takeaways from this video, as a whole, the market is still seeing more transactions and the price increasing. There is of course a lot of good investments to make out there. However, as we've seen, there's some areas that might not perform as well as others. So definitely do your due diligence before making any investment decisions and be well aware of the areas potentially that you're looking at and what product you're actually purchasing. The market is more mature than ever, so we're unlikely to see the crazy price increases that we have in the past. However, we're still in a great spot, seeing some steady growth over the last year. With this in mind, if you are interested in discussing Dubai real estate further and potentially looking to invest, then click the link below. And if you're after more real estate content, then click the video above.